Well, hello. I think we're live. Good afternoon. I hope everybody is well. This is Mark here, the anxiety expert here at Newcastle Hypnotherapy. I hope you're all well and enjoying today. Today, I'm going to answer some more of your questions. Thanks to everybody who keeps sending me questions, the ones that come through the strategy calls, and you can send them by email, personal message, however you want to do it, or just leave them under this video, and I'll answer as many as I can. Please say hello when you're live. Be nice to know you're there and you're real. And we shall answer some of your questions today. Also, a big thank you to everybody who sends me the questions, and especially to those of you who share the video. We love the feedback and we love the questions, so do keep them coming. If you've got lots of questions or you're wanting to get rid of your anxiety faster and quicker with an expert, then the best thing to do is to look for the link below or above and book in one of those strategy sessions with me, and we can see what we can do, see how fast we can do it, and answer all of your questions there. Okay, so the first question we got is, what does the Anxiety Freedom Program do, and what sort of things can we use it for? So usually with the Anxiety Freedom Program, that's the main thing that we use to sort out anxiety, stress, depression, and worry, is that it's a 4 or 5 step program that does everything. If you imagine your anxiety is a little walnut where we're using a great big hammer just to smash it in every way that we can. We deal with your anxiety on both a conscious level and an unconscious level. We retrain the mind. We sort out the gut and your health, your environment, your relationships, and we just put everything right to get it there. And it varies slightly from person to person because everybody's different. Everybody's at a different stage. So the idea is we tailor the program to work for you rather than doing the same thing for everyone. And it's funny how we go along the journey that things change and improve and get better, and then we make it better and give you more power. So usually what we'll do is we use hypnosis as a first thing. Hypnotherapy is very powerful for anxiety because it helps to sort out the unconscious mind. I keep saying this, but you can go to a counselor, you can go to CBT, you can do different things. That sorts out the conscious mind, but if you're not dealing with the unconscious side of it, those patterns that run in the unconscious part of the brain, then we're not going to get that fixed or sorted out. So that's really important that we do that. We then usually get a food sensitivity test done. That just tells us what's going on in the gut, what could be triggering the anxiety, what are the problems, and then we look at your environment and everything else. And then finally, we retrain that mind to be positive, to think in a positive way, to replace those anxiety patterns with something else. And it just works really nicely. We do teach quite a bit of self-hypnosis, which is beautiful because it puts you in control and you don't have to keep coming back to me for help. It helps to make you a better person. But ultimately, the whole point of this is we help you to get in control of your thoughts, your feelings. If you've got intrusive thoughts, which are a big thing at the moment, we help you to get through all of that. Now, as a result of doing that, people feel calmer, they feel more relaxed. And because they're in control of the feelings, they feel much happier. Anxiety is still going to pop up. There's still going to be things that are going to make you feel slightly anxious. However, at that point, you use the tools that we've given you to then breathe, to feel better, and then say, hang on a minute, how do I want to feel? And once you've done that for a little bit of time, that then becomes automatic, that whenever there's something there that might make you feel stressed or anxious, you know exactly what to do to feel better. And you can stand there in the situation. You've got that mental step back to do what you want to do, and you're in control. And that makes such a difference to people. So for the sort of things that we use it for, recently we've had people who couldn't swallow. Anxiety has been a problem where they just couldn't swallow. It kind of gets stuck there. That's a type of anxiety that just really knots us up, and it helps just to calm you down. And very quickly, people have been able to go out for meals, sit with friends and family and people who are a little bit awkward, but they feel so much better and they're in control of how they swallow and feel better. Driving anxiety is quite a big one as well. People have quite a bit of problem with that, usually when they've had an accident or something's gone on, or they're just worrying all the time that something's going to happen or there's going to be a crash or an accident. Well, again, once you feel relaxed and calm, you can either be a passenger or a driver and you'll feel so much better. Confidence. A lot of people get very anxious about public speaking, and self-confidence is something that we work on quite a lot. For most clients, that's something we'll add in to work on because you feel so much better when you've got confidence, and that pushes the anxiety away. So we help people to get up and be able to speak in public or to do things that they don't want to do. For me, that was a big thing. I pushed myself to become a disc jockey and then started speaking publicly 2 or 3 times a week. That makes a big difference, and it's constantly just pushing those barriers as well. Motivation's a big thing as well. We help people to get a bit more motivated. Anxiety's got a habit of clouding the mind and making us a bit dithery, not able to make the decisions that we want. And once we get motivated, we can make those decisions, move forward and do it, and have a bit of speed that's in there. It's much better to be on course and focused. Another big thing we do is we look for goals. A lot of the people we work with are professionals, and they need to be successful. They need to be able to hit the targets. And again, motivation helps with that, but it just makes things crystal clear of where you're going and what you want to do. And a big part of it is that we'll actually look at the skills and the abilities, the great things that you've already got, and teach you how to switch those on demand. I was working with a lovely lady yesterday who just asked a few questions and said, how do I do this? And we just looked at the skills that she had before, what motivated her to do certain things, and we just used those, and they work so nicely and just move in. So it works really nicely that way. The whole point is that we want to get rid of the anxiety and put you in a better place. So the other part of this is that we look at your outcome. And it's got to be, this is the big thing for everybody. We need a positive way of looking at the future. So if you say to me, I just don't want to be anxious anymore, that's no good. We have to reframe that. So it could be that people say, I want to feel relaxed. I want to feel calm. I want to feel confident. I want to be in control. And that's what we work to, rather than focusing on, I don't want to be anxious. And that's an important part of it. So this is what you need to do before you take any steps to move forward, or we do this during the strategy call, is you need to decide how you want your life to be. Do you want to be better around your work colleagues? Do you want to be better at work or your business? Do you want to be a better parent? Do you want to be in control of your eating and your health and your weight? Do you want to be able to get out there and exercise? What are the things that are important to you to move things forward and get better with all of these things? So you need to work on these and maybe set some goals. Now, part of it is that if we have anxiety, sometimes our brains are scrambled and we can't do that. So that's something that we work with during the strategy call, just to see what your outcome is and to see if you're ready to go forward and do that. As a side effect of all of this, people usually become happier. They become more confident. They lose weight. They get in control of habits. They can change the behaviors. And the skills that we teach you put you in control really nicely. And that's what it's about. It's you getting the outcome that you want. And if you look at our website and my Facebook profile and YouTube, you'll see success story after success story. But it's got to be right. We have to make sure you're ready at that point to move forward. Otherwise, we won't take you on. We have to make sure that you're willing to do the little bits of homework in between. The question is, are you ready to make that change? If not, what's stopping you? Can we overcome that? And do we need to change some of those beliefs? And that's important, that we have a lot of beliefs in our brain that, oh, this has to happen and this has to happen. And sometimes we have to change those wide programs or beliefs, as we call them, to make things better. The other question we get quite a lot is, how long is this going to take? Now, everybody's totally different. It depends at the rate that you want to go. Some people like to take baby steps, where other people say, I just want rid of this anxiety. Typically, in sort of between 0 and 4 weeks, 3 weeks, we reduce that anxiety down dramatically. And that's a major result for an awful lot of people. If we can knock that down by 80, 90% in 3 to 4 weeks, that's a good result, because you feel so much better. You've seen the results, and then you go on to work to get the rest of it sorted. And then we aim for most people in sort of 4 to 6 to 8 weeks to eliminate that anxiety. Once you're feeling better, there's more tools we can use, and it just gets to the point where it all becomes automatic. That as soon as you feel stressed or anxious or worried or whatever it is, that you use those tools, and after a period of time, you kind of forget about it. You feel much better. And then one day you say, oh, this is weird. My anxiety's disappeared. Really tough last week. We had a lady who did it in 3 weeks. Week before that, we had somebody who got his anxiety down by, I think it was about 90% in 4 weeks. We see this again and again. It's a shame, because an awful lot of people with anxiety don't really want to give us testimonials and shout about it, and that's fine. but we get a few people who do. You know, for every 10 that we help, we'll get 2 who say, yes, we'll help you and give you a review. And that spurs new people to come on. So it varies from person to person. It also depends at the speed that you want to go. But the idea is, let's do it quick. The brain works really quick. It learns much faster when we do it quickly. So for me, let's get it sorted. Let's get it done. But some people like to take the time over it, and that's fine as well. It's whatever you feel comfortable with. The final question we've got today is, how much does it cost? Well, that really depends on the person. You've got to understand that every single person we see is different. Some people have gone through trauma. Some people have had no trauma. Some people have gone through severe abuse. There can be all sorts of different things. And this varies from person to person. So we don't put a price out there. We look at people. We look at roughly the sort of work that it's going to take, and then we give you a price from there. And that's important, because I'd rather that you know the price once you've got onto the strategy call, once we've determined it, other than putting a price on the site and people think, oh, I can do this for X amount, and then find it's going to be more, or it could be less. So the whole goal of it is we don't really work by the session. We'll say this is the price to get it sorted, and then we'll work until we get that done. So thank you for your questions. I hope that's helped. Do keep them coming. We love them, so keep them coming in. And thanks to everybody who shares these videos. That helps me, but it helps other people. So please feel free to share these on your timeline and everywhere else. If you've got the questions, keep them coming in. And then don't forget, if you're ready to get rid of that anxiety for good, if you've decided you've had enough and you want to work with a professional to put it right, then now's the time to book that strategy call at the link on the page. It just means we can have a chat for 20, 30 minutes, see if it's right for you, give you an idea of what we'd need to go through, and give you all the information and answer your questions as you need to. So enjoy the rest of your day. We'll see you all soon, and take care.